Delegates from Ghana, and now I give the floor to the youth delegate of Romania. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman and our honorable delegates, it is both an honor and a privilege to be here today and speak out for the youth of Romania at the General Assembly of the United Nations. However, looking back at our life in Romania, the country where we were born and raised, we find ourselves and our friends to be in a very fortunate position for being able to complete our education, to benefit from health assistance and health-related programs, to vote and stand for an election, to walk without fear on the streets, to freely express our unbridged views in public. Now, we all take these things for granted. Despite all this, Romania is only 0.1% of the world's population, and although many things need to be improved at our national level as well, we sadly discover every day that at a global scale, things are not quite as encouraging as back home. According to the International Labour Organization, the level of unemployment among young people is 2 or 3 times higher than among adults. The problems facing youth are a real challenge, not only for the personal development of young people, but also for the preservation of national and international stability. Youth unemployment level is shockingly high. In the Millennium Declaration from September 2000, governments and heads of states set up to develop and implement strategies that give young people everywhere a real chance to find decent and productive work. We are today in 2008, and not only in Romania, young people face difficulties in finding proper jobs after completing their studies. For this reason, there is a pressing need for policies that not only build on youth potential, but also open new doors in areas such as employment. The indicators confirm that about 1/3 of the world's working age population does not participate in the labor market at all. In addition to that, the situation is particularly critical for young women who remain unemployed after graduation, with 2/3 more than men. Only a few young people are successful in finding a good job after graduation, many of them accepting to be underpaid, working on the black market, deprived of basic working conditions, social protection, and medical care services. Although the world's economy knew a substantial progress, and we do have better chances to find a decent job, young people are still exposed to serious risks, even if they really are the beating heart of the world of tomorrow. In order to contribute to a substantial enhancement of the global labor market, we really have to focus on some specific ways of action.
Mr. Chairman, firstly, in the field of education, we have to review the school curricula as to make sure it also provides the knowledge and skills required by the current economic realities. The training system has to be developed and aligned with the current and future needs of young people in their respective societies, including formal and non-formal education, lifelong education, and information centers for youth. Secondly, in the field of activism and youth participation, we should reaffirm the role of youth organizations and active young people in the global economy and development. Volunteering, as a way of active participation, engages young people in communities while anchoring youngsters in a positive educational process aimed towards gaining soft skills required in the present context of the labor market. It should be acknowledged that the NGOs are the main providers of volunteer work. All these contribute to allowing an easier transition on the labor market. Thirdly, in the field of employment, we should focus on several priorities. In accordance with the Convention on the Rights of the Child and ILO's core labor standards, we should put a special emphasis on abolishing the worst forms of child labor. Also, we have to promote self-employment and youth entrepreneurship as a way of integrating young people in the international labor market with full and decent work for all. Youth employment policies should be integrated in national strategies in order to boost youth development and economical progress. Microfinance for youth should operate smoothly, aiming to support young people in establishing and running a business, which will allow them to gain confidence and to better contribute both to their personal development and to the overall development of their respective communities. Today's youth are tomorrow's leaders. Let's give young people a chance to meet their full potential, to educate themselves, to claim and stand for their rights, to actively participate in the decision-making process at all levels, and last but not least, let's give young people the chance to choose. In our country, the youth movement is on a continuously growing path, the youth policy is being strongly influenced by associative youth-based environments. As a result of this development and out of the necessity for a youth infrastructure, new structures emerged. The Romanian Youth Council is one of the most important youth federations in our country. The National Authority for Youth and the National Agency for Supporting Youth Initiatives are the public institutions in charge with developing and implementing youth programs and policies, being able to orchestrate the joint efforts of all the other governmental stakeholders involved in youth-based activities, such as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As we mentioned above, now we have the necessary frameworks. We have the capacity, we have the human resources, and we also have the financial means to support our actions in achieving our goals. All we need to do is to open our minds and souls to work together as a whole and get things done. In 2015, some of us might no longer have the privilege to attend the United Nations General Assembly. Some of us will still struggle with making the world a better place, and some of us will be in this very room rejoicing the huge step humanity took forward by working towards meeting the MDGs. Either way, in 2015, we'd like to be able to tell our children that we did our best for the world they live in, and that Romania helped the UN in making a difference in this respect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I thank the distinguished youth delegates from Romania, and now I give the floor to the distinguished youth delegate from Jamaica. You have the floor, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, illustrious delegates, fellow youth delegates, please allow